price of freedom is death. We're coming to get our check.
Black First brothers and sisters, welcome to the Afro Elite YouTube channel. I am your host, Afro Elite. Before we get started, please make sure that you guys hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, leave a thumbs up, share this on your various social media platforms or to a family or friend. And thank you all for watching. We already got people, we got folks in the room already. Okay. I need you guys to be here with me tonight. Why? Why do I need you guys to do that? First off, because this message is important. Second off, because I am very, 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 very upset. You guys know that Tariq's museum, the Hidden History Museum, is supposed to be having its grand opening this weekend. I had scheduled my flight to go. This is why I'm upset. I had scheduled my flight to go, hotel, all that, everything, booked, ticket, got everything. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I'm good. Supposed to be from tonight. I was supposed to get there tonight at Los Angeles tonight, and then supposed to be leaving back Monday morning. Cool. Everything's straight. I'm on my way to the airport. I got an email saying that my flight is delayed 20 minutes. Fine, cool. When I get to the airport, they tell me that my flight was canceled. They had canceled my flight at the airport. And tonight I could not reschedule. I had to schedule for the next day, so I'm leaving tomorrow. So I'm still going, don't get me wrong, but I was very, oh my, because I still had to pay, because I asked my cousin to take me to the airport, still had to pay my cousin to take me to the airport. You know, so I'm like, damn, it's snowing. They said it was that's why the delay, because of the weather, you know. So I was cool with that, but I'm like, because I already got the hotel for Thursday. So I'm like, okay, yeah, that's what happens. And they're not going to pay you. They don't reimburse you if it's a weather problem while they canceled the flight. Like if it's a technical issue and they have to cancel because of that, they'll have to reimburse you. But because of weather, they don't reimburse you. So they just let you rechange the flight again. So it happens. That happens, you know. We got a lot of people in here tonight. Yeah. All that ice. Yeah, it's the weather. It is what it is. It's fine. I can make some more content and, you know, before I leave on my trip, go to the gym one final time. You know, man, it's fine. I'm not tripping on it. We 3 minutes in, got 62 people, and we late. So that's good. That's good. That's good. Now, let's get into tonight's topic, okay? As we know, shout out to our brother Tariq, coined the term FBA, Foundational Black Americans, coined that term specifically for us to delineate, specifically for the purpose of getting our culture together, bringing us together as a culture, and helping us get reparations that are owed to us through chattel slavery. This is what FBA means. That's what the term was created for, all of that, okay? So we've been getting a lot of flack because once we recognize that, you know, we're all black under the, you know, in the world, we're all a part of this big black melanated tree, but we're a separate branch from all of the other ethnicities on the tree. As FBA, we have a different branch than the Jamaicans and the Haitians and the Nigerians and the South Africans. Now, does that mean that their branch is bad? No, that does not mean that. That just means we're different. That's fine. It's always been that way. It's always going to be that way. The thing is that the second we say we're done, you know, with acting as if we're not not the same, you know what I'm saying? Then it's a problem, because we've tried to, with the movement of Pan-Africanism, we've tried to come together. You said much love to Ozone. Oh yeah, shout out, if you guys have not done so already, shout out to our brother Ozone. Y'all make sure y'all go donate. Shout out to our brother Jason Black. I was on his channel not too long ago talking about the subject. I made a video about that, so y'all go check that out. Okay, shout out to our brother Ozone. Please make sure y'all donate. Now, the reason why Pan-Africanism didn't work before, and I'm going to play the video. We're going to have a real conversation because I'm not trying to stir any beef. I'm not trying to gossip or nothing. I think that this is almost a good thing that's happened so we can have this conversation, okay? Giving $100 away. Shout out to our brother Joshua. He said he's giving $100 away for a good cause to our brother Ozone. So salute to our brother Joshua. I appreciate that, and I know our brother Ozone does. Okay. Also, shout out to our sister Q2Ys for the $5 super sticker. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. I need it. Okay. I'm a little stressed out. Shout out to everybody in here. Shout out. We getting people coming in here fast. Okay. So back to what I was saying about Pan-Africanism. We've tried to build a connection with the continent. The Pan-Africanism concept is really surrounded by the continent of Africa. It's almost used as like a religion. Okay, just follow me. Pan-Africanism is used as if kind of like a religion, and Africa is the god. Africa is the god, and we're all childrens of Africa. You know what I'm saying? So you have to kind of worship the continent of Africa. That's kind of what Pan-Africanism really has devolved into. That's really what it's really about. Now people say no, it's about black and to a degree. There's true real elements to Pan-Africanism, okay? But the concept of us, idolizing, and with the word I use, wakanding, from the movie Wakanda, the concept of that is just inaccurate. That's just an inaccurate term. I mean, an inaccurate thought process. And it's harmed our community because, let's just be completely real, our people as FBA, Foundation Black Americans, we have been here before the beginning of America. We've been here for half a millennia, 500 years, and then some. Our connection to Africa, even though we do have a DNA connection to Africa, largely our cultural, our historical connection to Africa has been severed. That's just what it is. We've talked about this in many different broadcasts before. When people move, when a mass amount of people move from one place to another place, and this is just global history, this is just the way the world works. When they move to one place to another place and start a new culture, develop a new language, new teachings, new ideologies, new religion, new names, new everything. When they move there, they become the people of that land, not the people of the land before. They become the people of that land. That's how Africa works. There's many different countries in Africa, many different tribes in Africa. Those people, a lot of them, they came from this place, and then they moved down to, like, for instance, I'm just giving an example. They moved to like South Africa. If you have Nigerians 500 years ago, they lived in Nigeria, or what the land that would be known as Nigeria, and then they moved to South Africa, developed South Africa, came up with their own language, their own culture, their own country, because it is a different country. If they came up with their own country, then they would not be, if you say, where are you from? I'm from my country. My country is South Africa. I'm not from Nigeria. My connection to Nigeria, even though like hundreds of years ago, I might have it, my connection is to this land. My culture is to this land. My people are from this land. That's the way every place, every continent, every ethnicity in the world works. If it didn't work that way, listen very carefully, y'all. If it did not work that way, we would all be one big nationality. We would all be one big ethnicity. Everywhere in the world, the whole human race would just be one single big ethnicity. But it's not, because that's just not the way human beings work. We've never worked that way. And it's unfortunate because the people who've been classified as African American, Black Americans, foundational Black Americans, we're just really starting to get on that page within the last few years or so. And that's not nothing negative. That's just saying, you know, well, okay, yeah, we're just not the same. We a different ethnicity. We still Black. I still love you as a Black person. You know what I'm saying? But we're just not the same, and that's cool. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Everybody else has been doing it. The diaspora has been doing that. Shout out to Willis says, I saw the tweet last night, and I know Professor Smalls is still 10 toes down for Tariq. Exactly. Okay. Thank you for the $5 super chat. And see, that's the thing. And I'm here to come out with like clear a lot of the confusion, because a lot of people are going to stir the pot and try to instigate beef, and there doesn't need to be any. I feel like a lot of this was just a misunderstanding. Now, he says Black person. He says you don't know who you are. Who doesn't know? I'm a Black person. I don't know who you are. I'm a Black person. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm Black. Damn it. So back to what I was saying. So that's what we did. Now, here's the thing. By doing that, we also created we created a sense of clarity. So now we're able to see things from different perspectives that we weren't able to see before. Now, when certain problems and aspects come into the community, we're able to kind of differentiate where those problems are coming in. We understand that a lot, not all, but a lot of who the dominant society allows to come over here are people of the Tether class, are people who are coming over here to actively, keyword, actively undermine Black society. To me, there is a difference between somebody being off code and somebody being a coon. Okay, you have people who are on code, like the B1s, me and you and everybody in the chat room, right? We're on code. And then you have people who are completely willing to sell us out, undermine us, the Candace Owens, the Roland Martins, them folks, right? They're completely off code. They're coons. And then you have in between. You have layers in between. So I don't think that you not being B1 makes you a coon or makes you a tether. Not necessarily. What we use the word tether in the Tether class, those are people who actively undermine FBA society. Those are people who actively work with the dominant society against us. Okay, so that's what that is. So when we call them out, we're doing that because they need to be separated from the rest of FBA society and from the rest of Black society. That's the reason why we're doing that. Now, you have a lot of Pan-Africanists mad because since we've delineated, since we understand where our homeland is, right? We don't have the worship of Africa. And because we've had the worship of Africa and we're not really from there, or our ties to Africa has been very severed, we've accepted a lot of abuse from the diaspora. Just be honest, we've accepted a lot of abuse. Now that we understand, okay, we still love you, we still love the continent, we're different though. We're not accepting all of that abuse that we used to accept when we were trying to push Pan-Africanism. So because of that, because of the fact that the diaspora isn't able to ride on the coattails of FBA, the fact that when they do something right, they definitely delineate that. They do that all the time. When they get a college degree, when they get a masterate, when they get an award, when they invent something, they're Nigerian, they're Jamaican. Oh, they go out of their way. And every time we say it, they play dumb, but they don't deny it. They act like they don't know what we're talking about, but they don't say that's not true, because that is true, and they know they do that. They brag about it. They puff their chest about it. Okay, fine. And then when they do something wrong, when they're robbing, stealing, scamming, doing all of this degenerate stuff, then when we say, hey, y'all not us. y'all Jamaican, y'all Nigerian, y'all Haitian, y'all from that's rep your set, you know. That's when they get upset. And that's one of the things that we've been saying for the longest time. You can't rep your set when you doing something good and then tuck your flag away when you do something bad. It don't work that way. It doesn't work that way. If you are going to rep your set, you got to rep it all the way. If you're going to rep your set when you do something positive, cool. I don't even got a problem with that. Okay? I really, really don't. My problem is the fact that when y'all do something good, y'all try to flex to a degree. Y'all don't even rep your set. Y'all try to flex and almost tease us and wag your finger like, ha, look how smart we are. Look how much better we are. All right. Then when y'all do something bad, when y'all do something messed up, y'all want to be all like, hey, well, we all from the motherland. No, it don't work that way. And we're not doing that no more. And this is one of the reasons why you have Pan-Africanists that are so upset. This is one of the reasons why you have Pan-Africanists so mad. Now, I'm going to show you this clip. Now, this is this dude who he's a Pan-Africanist. He claims that he is a FBA. He's a Foundation Black American. He doesn't use the term FBA. He doesn't like the term FBA, but that's what he claims. Okay. Recently, actually, shout out to our brother Sincere Love the God, because he was on the YouTube debate with him. You know what I'm saying? And I was there. I witnessed that. So I kind of know what he's about a little bit. But recently, he has a YouTube video, and he had our brother, Professor James Smalls, on the YouTube. And there was a clip that just kind of going viral, and it said something against FBA and kind of against Tariq. Now, I want to say before we get started, I have much love and much respect for Professor James Smalls. Okay, I've hit Professor James Smalls' Cash App. Oh shit, my cup. I've hit Professor James Smalls' Cash App up. You know, I don't have nothing against our brother Professor James Smalls. I believe that he might have been misinformed. That's what I believe. I believe that this is just confusion. You know, and in the work of our brother Neely Fuller Jr., he teaches us confusion is a pathway to chaos. Confusion is when there's confusion, there will be chaos. You know what I'm saying? So I believe that maybe he might have been misinformed before the camera starts recording. And it's a tactic that's being done. I'm going to show you guys the actual clip, the full clip, uninterrupted. And then I'm going to kind of break down my opinion of it. So let me pull this up. Okay. Now I went straight to his YouTube because I don't want nobody saying, oh, you taking his clip out of context or whatever the case is. Let me see if I can make it a little bit bigger. Okay, here we go.
That HDA people, I think they're crazy, okay? And I think they're dangerous in the way they approach it. This is the lady and the lawyer. Mm-hmm. And I reached out to them years ago when I first heard about them. I reached out to them, my email, no one ever touched bases or tried to get back to me. And I wasn't being that critical. I was saying, let's talk.
Yeah.
Now, when I heard the young people talking through my young brother, Chase, about Foundation of Black America, I reached out to them. They came to talk. I want to know, what is the issue? Now, I don't agree, and I'll call names. I don't agree with Tariq's rhetoric, okay? He's done some very good things, but words have meaning, and words have power. And you can use it once you've got a technology like we have today. One word can be so destructive you couldn't imagine it.
Yeah.
When you are constant in using the N-word, and you're constant in condemning an African simply because they're an immigrant, and you're constant, then there's something wrong with your knowledge base, not just your analysis. You have to have a decent knowledge foundation to even make an analysis. Tariq has pulled together a lot of fantastic scholars. Now, how much of that scholarship he has absorbed becomes another question. And he's my friend and my brother. But I don't speak behind people's back. I do it straight up front. Tariq knows me. I love him like I love you. But his behavior, if I'm going to go forward, has to change, has to be altered. and I'll have that private conversation with him, because that's what brothers do. And I've talked to some others and told them I'm going to have that conversation and suggest that they do the same thing. When we did the rally in DC, you did not hear a bunch of that rhetoric going on. You didn't hear any of it, really. I went backstage with the brother. We sat down, we met, we bumped heads a little bit, but we walked out of there united, understanding that we're talking about unity and not about labels. Sometimes what people are calling Pan-Africanists, they're not even talking about Pan-Africanism.
Yeah, exactly.
They label anybody who says, I'm doing something black and ain't them, that's a Pan-Africanist. It's like people say the conscious community. Where the hell is the conscious community? Everybody's conscious to some degree or another. There's no such thing as a conscious community. But we get caught up in these little label bags, and then we can't get ourselves out of it.
So the top earners in this country are no longer doctors, lawyers, or bankers. They're people who are quietly making 10 to 25.
I muted myself. Sorry about that. All right. I didn't expect the clip to end so suddenly. Now, I'm going to play it back. I'm going to play that back, and then I'm going to kind of break it down as we go. All right. Let me play that back real quick. All right. Okay, here we go.
People, I think they're crazy, okay? And I think they're dangerous in the way they approach it. This is the lady and the lawyer. Mm-hmm. And I reached out to them years ago when I first heard about them. I reached out to them, I emailed, no one ever touched bases or tried to get back to me. And I wasn't being that critical. I was saying, let's talk.
Yeah.
Now, when I heard the young people talking through my young brother Chase about
shout out to our brother Chase. You know, much respect to our brother Chase. Let me see. Is there an echo? Hold on. I don't want that to. Hold on. Let me see. Give me one. Shout out to our brother Chase. No, there's no echo. I just I thought there was an echo. I thought somebody said, all right, but let's continue.
Foundation of Black America, I reached out to them. They came to talk. I want to know, what is the issue? Now, I don't agree, and I'll call names. I don't agree with Tariq's rhetoric. Okay? He's done some very good things, but words have meaning, and words have power. And you can use it once you've got a technology like we have today. One word can be so destructive you couldn't imagine it.
Yeah.
When you are constant in using the N-word, and you're constant in condemning an African simply because they're an immigrant, and you're constant, then there's something wrong with your knowledge base, not just your analysis. You have to have a decent knowledge foundation to even make an analysis.
Okay. The thing with that statement is we as FBA, now Tariq is not the leader of FBA. He's not the president. He doesn't control FBA. He's the FBA, and every time anybody is asked, and he's been asked multiple times, I can't even count how many times throughout the years he's been asked, what is FBA? FBA is a name for the lineage of people who are descendant of American chattel slavery. That is it. That is all. Based off of that definition, Tariq is not the leader. He can't be the leader. Nobody can be the leader. I can't be the leader of a lineage. This is just the name for the lineage. Now, of course, in the lineage, you're going to have some crazy folks. You're going to have some smart folks. Now, the people who are aware of the lineage, and a new term of the lineage, they tend to follow certain people. So a lot of the people who use FBA, they're very well read. They're very empowered, and they're very about like what you would say pro-black. But the thing is that whether to be honest, just because somebody's off code, they still FBA. You know what I'm saying? You got Jim Clyburn. Jim Clyburn is just as FBA as I am. I'm not the leader. He's not the leader. We're not. He's is us the lineage. That's all that it is. Okay. So when you say, "Oh, you're condemning somebody just for being a African," that's not what Tariq does. Now, can Tariq speak for every single person? No, Tariq can't speak for everybody who is FBA. I mean, even if he said, "Oh, I'm done with the term FBA," he still can't speak for everybody who's a part of his lineage, and that's unfair of a burden to put on somebody to say now they have to represent the whole lineage, and people act like Tariq is supposed to represent the whole lineage. That's not fair for him, and that's just not accurate. There's no leader of Haiti. Even I'm not talking about the president of the country. I'm talking about the leader of the whole lineage. There's no lineage leader of anybody. So Tariq is not the lineage leader of anybody. Okay. So if somebody does say something that's crazy and they might be FBA, hey, okay. Tariq just came up with the term. That ain't got nothing to do with him, to be honest. It really don't. He don't got to be out there trying to control everybody who uses the term, because he's not the leader of it. If he was, then yeah, he should. And if he actually did go out there to try to control everybody who uses the term for the lineage, that would make him, or that would make it look like he is the leader. You know what I'm saying? Tariq himself has not, and I'm going to remove this actually for a second because I want to show you guys another clip. Then we'll get back to the YouTube. Tariq himself has not condemned everybody just because they're an immigrant. Okay, and we got to stop with that talking point. Let me show you guys this real quick.
And if y'all listen to our Twitter live sessions, you will hear a lot of the Tether classes. That means the degenerate classes of the immigrant groups, because all people from these immigrant groups are not with a Tether mindset. We do have some riders, but we have to do some straightening with that Tether class who come over and try to say things to us like we don't have a culture.
You're projecting. What you're going to do, y'all not going to come here and project a bunch of your cultural hatred towards us. That's you projecting. That is you projecting 100%. Y'all come in here saying the same nonsense, and you're lying and projecting. The only people who have hate for cultures are the Tether classes. And I'm not going to even say all of the people from parts of the motherland. It's the Tether class who hate your own communities there, and you bring that hatred over here because that's why you fled.
Please stop dumping your trash on us and hollering about we're divisive, because we don't want you dumping your trash on us. Let's be real. A lot of stuff, truth be told, with immigration, unfortunately, and we got some good brothers and sisters who immigrated here who ride with us. Let's be clear, we do have some riders. Unfortunately, we have so many people who dump their trash on us, and trash has been dumped on us for the last 50 years, and we really have to call that out. That's why when we started using Foundation of Black Americans, at first, people got offended because they couldn't leech off of it. Notice a lot of the now some of our non-FBA family, they respect it, and many of them respect it, but the Tether class of niggas who like leeching off us, boy, they were like, hey, wait a minute now.
Okay, so, and I made that clip, and that clip was from last year. So he's clarified that even further. There's so many clips. I just pulled that clip up from my Twitter account because I made that last year sometime in the summertime, just to make the statement that Tariq is not saying 100% of all non-FBA are tethers. He's said repeatedly multiple times that that's not where he stands on it. He's specifically talking about the tether class of people. He uses that term tether class multiple times. And that's just the case. Most old black folks, you know, we say you gotta watch the term we get from our brother TBA, watch out for them old niggas. TBA himself has said we're not talking about every single last old nigga. We're talking because there tends to be there is a common not a common denominator. I'm sorry, I didn't mean, it's like more likely people within that category have this type of mindset. We don't speak in absolutes. Everybody from every older person is not an old nigga with a coonish mindset. That's just not the case. That's not the case whatsoever. But you do have to watch out for that. When we say we have to watch out for our unfortunate brothers and sisters who've been misled in the LGBT community, we're not speaking on all of them at all. You know, we got some writers, we got some real ones, and whatever they do, you know, in the bedroom ain't got nothing to do with how they see pro-blackness and black empowerment, and they rock with us and support reparations and everything that we do 100%. They just, you know, do what adults do, and that's their business. You know what I'm saying? But they see themselves as black first, though. They don't put their sexuality first. You have ones, a lot, unfortunately, that have been buck broken and mind controlled, and they do put their sexuality first, you know. But when we criticize black folks in the LGBT community, we're not saying 100% of them, we're not saying all of them, we're just really saying that, okay, there's a large amount of them that are like that. So when we talk about black immigrants or whatever, or tethers, we're not saying every single person from Nigeria, everybody from Haiti, everybody from Jamaica, Ethiopia, South America. We're not saying that 100% of them are tethers. We are only referring to the ones that are tethers. Tariq is only referring to the ones that are tethers. Now, when he says that immigration is not helpful, it's just not. Nobody, and that conversation really blew up last year, early last year. This has been over a year old. Nobody has made a solid argument to say how immigration is helpful for us. It's just not. It's statistically based off of the data. Is not. It's just not. Okay, so I disagree. Now I'm gonna pull up the rest of the video. I disagree with him saying that you can't condemn somebody or use a negative word because they're an immigrant. Nobody is saying you're a tether because you're an immigrant, or at least Tariq Nasheed is not saying that. He, like I said in the beginning, he doesn't have the authority to control everybody. A lot of people in this room, please make sure you guys subscribe if you guys haven't, and hit that like button. It's not up to him. It's not up to him. Okay. Also, too, people say the N-word. Words do have meanings. That's another subject. But, you know, some people are strict on that. But the thing is that when people with the word tether, because I don't even say the N-word, because I don't like that the whole that the N-word and tether are like the same thing. Like calling somebody a tether is the same thing as a white person calling us the N-word. It's not. Okay, they were calling us the N-word because they were looking at us as if we were less than human. That's their pretty much thing, to say that we were less than human. They were saying that in a derogatory sense, in a sense to inflict white supremacy, to say I am white and I am supreme above you. You are a nigger. That's what that was. When we say somebody is a tether, we're saying that based off of their actions, not based off of where you're from. We got some writers in the community. They talk black empowerment. You know, Kid Gravity, for instance, is one. You know what I'm saying? He's Jamaican, but he's in that B1 community. You know, he don't be, you know, tethering. You know what I'm saying? And nobody refers to him as a tether. Why? Because he doesn't have a tether mentality. And for instance, we got straight up riders who are non-FBA. Much love, much respect to them. We don't call them tethers. Why? Because they don't have a tether mentality. I've never heard anybody call Dr. Ben a tether, and I wouldn't stand it if somebody did. Nobody. I'm not allowing anybody to call Dr. Ben a tether. People don't call Minister Louis Farrakhan a tether. People don't call Kwame Ture a tether. People don't call them tethers because they don't behave that way. They don't fit in that category. Now, when you call Roland Martin a tether, when you call Candace Owens a tether, Obama a tether, what's her name? Kamala Harris, when you call them tethers, that's fine because they fit that category. You know what I'm saying? We're not saying that in a derogatory way. We're saying that in a way because that's how you act. You're acting like a tether, so you fall in the category of a tether. All right, now let's continue the video.
Tariq has pulled together a lot of fantastic scholars. Now, how much of that scholarship he has absorbed becomes another question. And he's my friend and my brother, but I don't speak behind people's back. I do it straight up front. Tariq knows me. I love him like I love you. But his behavior, if I'm going to go forward, has to change, has to be altered. And I'll have that private conversation with him because that's what brothers do. And I've talked to some others and told them I'm going to have that conversation and suggest that they do the same thing. When we did the rally in DC.
Now, here's one thing that I am going to say that I felt trying to find the right way to say this. One thing that separates this movement, this generation, this era from the previous eras is we do not have a religious sense of how we treat Black empowerment. We don't treat Black empowerment like a religion. We treat it like a movement that evolves and that grows. So that means that there's people that we listen to and we get knowledge from them. We get inspiration from them. Okay. We get guidance from them. We don't idolize them. We don't worship them. There are things that people say that we have so much respect for, but we just might disagree. We might say, hey, I respect you dearly. You know what I'm saying? You my brother, you my sister. I would die for you, but I don't agree with every single thing that you say. And that's one thing Pan-Africanists act like. They act like everything that an elder says is gospel truth. We don't act like that. That's just not true. For instance, you guys know for a fact, that I have so much love and respect for our brother Fred Hampton. Only 21 years old when he was murdered by the CPD, right? But honestly, there's things that Fred Hampton has said that I disagree with, and that's okay. I'm just being honest. There's things that he said that I disagree with. That's okay. That's not a diss. That's not disrespectful. I'm sure that there's people who are watching me right now, and there's things that I've said that you guys disagree with, and that's fine. We don't have to agree with something. You can still have a lot of respect for somebody, but there's things that you say that you disagree with, or actions that they did that you can say, you know what, brother, much respect, much love. I just don't think that you should have handled it that way. That's fine. Now, I'm saying this to say I have a lot of respect for our brother James Small, and I don't want anybody leaving here to feel like that I don't, or I want to sow seeds of dissent that you guys shouldn't. Okay, you guys should. If you guys don't know him, you guys should look up his work, look up some of the things that he teaches. Very intelligent brother. I don't think that he should have said that on this platform. Okay, not just because of the respect for Tariq, but yeah, because of the respect for Tariq. You shouldn't say, "Oh, I don't say things behind people's back." And I'll have this private conversation with him later. If you disagreed with the way Tariq moved, and if you disagreed with his quote unquote rhetoric, you could have easily personally announced that to Tariq. You could have, I'm sure they have each other's numbers or some way to get in contact with each other. He should have told Tariq that before going on a stage with going on a platform of someone who does not like Tariq, going on a platform of someone who is going to use this to sow seeds of confusion and chaos, you know, going on that platform and saying, I don't like this. You know what I'm saying? That's really not the way people, that's not how he should have moved. And this, no disrespect, but we're going to have to be honest, okay? Because we can't keep moving in the we can't keep moving in the community with and act as if our master teachers, much respect to them, can't be wrong. They're human beings. They can mess up. They can be wrong. In this specific instance, I feel like if you're gonna say, I don't talk about your back behind your back, but I respect you and I'm gonna talk to you about that privately. And Tariq is gonna hear about this after the video's already been recorded. So the video's already circling around the internet of you saying you don't appreciate his rhetoric, and then you're gonna hit him up on the phone like, hey Tariq, I want to talk to you about something. After the video's already gone viral, that's not the way to do that. I personally, I feel like that it could have been handled better, you know. And I know for a fact that he said that he hasn't talked to Tariq about that, because he said, yeah, I'm going to talk to him about it later. If you were going to talk to him about it later, then you should have refrained from saying anything on that platform, or at least worded yourself a little bit more carefully on that platform. You know, we got a lot of people in here. Please, I want everybody to be in here and make sure you guys are subscribed. We've actually never had this many people. We close to 300. Can y'all retweet this? Can y'all please retweet this? And so we can get 300 people in here. It's Black History Month and we in here heavy. Oh, and shout out to Loadcast for the $2 super sticker or super chat. I appreciate that, and I appreciate your support, brother. Okay. So, yeah, I'm gonna play the rest, but I feel like that, like somebody said in the chat room, that's messy. That's messy. That's not how you move. Okay, let me play it, the rest of it.
See, you did not hear a bunch of that rhetoric going on. You didn't hear any of it, really. I went backstage with the brother. We sat down. We met. We bumped heads a little bit. But we walked out of there united, understanding that we're talking about unity and not about labels. Sometimes what people are calling Pan-Africanists, they're not even talking about Pan-Africanists.
Yeah, exactly.
They label anybody who says, I'm doing something black and ain't them, that's a Pan-Africanist. It's like people say the conscious community. Where the hell is the conscious community? Everybody's conscious to some degree or another. There's no such thing as a conscious community. But we get caught up in these little label bags, and then we can't get ourselves out of it.
Okay. And that's the end of that. All right. Now, here's the thing. Let me make this myself bigger. Here's the thing with that, right? He says there's no conscious community. The thing is, when we say conscious community, everybody knows what we mean. You know what I'm saying? When people were saying pro-black, most people knew what we meant. You know what I'm saying? So, okay. But I would say it's better for us to use the B1 community. It's more clear. It's more understood, because like he said, there's different levels of consciousness. There's really no different levels of B1. There's only one B1. So I would say I would agree with that. I say we should say from the conscious community to the B1 community. Now, Tony, you bring up a very good point. I'm going to touch on that. We can talk about the word akata or the Jarir. And one thing I really, really don't like is because the thing is, from what I said before, the diaspora has a bad history of abusing the Black Americans. They have a bad history of that. Okay, so they're used to saying things negative about us. They're used to teasing us, making fun of us. They used to make fun of the fact that we were slaves. We didn't know where we came from. We didn't know our real name. We didn't have no culture, all of that stuff. They used to say all of that stuff, right? Pan-Africanists never checked them for that, because Black Americans, foundational Black Americans, we're just the ethnic group that can just be abused, that can just be mistreated. We can just be battered, but we got to look out for everybody, okay? Like kind of like Cinderella. she's always being abused by her family or whatever in the fairy tale, but she has to do all of the work. That's kind of how FBA have been treated. Okay. So when FBA gets called Akata, in this, they're not calling us Akata based off of our actions. We're calling them Tether based off of their actions. They're calling us Akata based off of just us not being there. They call us Akata just off of us being American. Just based off of us being FBA, we're an Akata. Just based off of us being FBA, we don't know our culture. We don't have history. We don't know where we come from. That just based of us, just based off of us being FBA. We don't even do anything, and we get names called to us, and nobody says nothing. Nobody says anything. It's fine, and that's been going on for decades, and everybody to a degree knows about it. Okay, decades and decades. That's been going on forever. Okay, nobody says nothing. Now we say you're a Tether based off your actions. That's it. Not because you're from anywhere else, but only based off your actions. That makes you a Tether. Then, oh my God, this a problem? It's a problem. The second we say, okay, well, you know what? We gonna keep the same energy. We're not even really, to be honest, to be very, very honest, we're not even really keeping the same energy. We're just having a fair standard. And that's a problem now. It's a problem. So Akata, Jareer, all this negative stuff that they say about us, well, you know, calling them a Tether. Oh my God, what about the motherland? What about Africa? Oh, what do you know? No. We're not playing that. That's the difference between us being black first and us being Pan-African. Okay, we don't have this worship for Africa, for the continent, where, oh my God, if you're from the continent, you can't do wrong. You're above correction. And we got to almost, we owe you something. And see, this is the thing with Pan-Africanists, okay? Because they believe that Africa is like God, and everybody who's, the closer you're connected to Africa, the closer you are to God. That's how they treat Africa. Okay, and since we're so disconnected, we're the peasant, we're the underclass of the diaspora. So anything that's done to us, any abuse that's done to us, anything negative that's said to us is fine. But when we say it back, it's wrong. Okay? When it comes to B1, we don't have the mentality that Africa is God. We have the mentality that we're all black and we have one code. And the code is the leader. Okay, let me get to some of the because they blacken some of the words. That's the thing. The code is and when you're B1, the code is the leader, not Africa. So that's why we're all like, okay, we're as B1, we're not going to be mistreated by y'all anymore. We're not going to have y'all saying stuff to us and we just got to hold our heads down and be like, yes, brother, okay, sister. We're not doing that no more. We're not allowing you guys to come over here, tether yourself, leech off of the work that we have done, the sacrifices that we have made, and you guys get to come over here and act as if we owe you something. That's the problem. Because they believe that because of Pan-Africanism, Africa is like God. They believe that they're like angels. They believe that they're angels because the angels came first. They believe that we owe them something to a degree. They treat us like that. They come over here eating off of the work that we done, because nobody can argue the fact that it was FBA who did the civil rights movement and all of the tension that was before that. Because when we talk about the civil rights movement, we talk about it as if it just happened. It didn't just happen. It was because mainly when we talk about the civil rights movement, we talk about like the 1960s. It was a lot of stuff going on way before the 1960s that kind of led up. It set the stepping stones for the civil rights movement. The civil rights movement is really like the final push, the final battle. Okay, when we talk about Emmett Till wasn't something that really started anything. It's not like everybody was cool and calm and then what happened to Emmett Till, everybody just woke up. That's not what happened. it was a lot of stuff building up to that, and the death of the murder, I'm sorry, of Emmett Till. Okay, and we still trying to get Carolyn Bryan locked up, but the murder of Emmett Till, that was the spark that let everything off, because there was already so much gas all over the place that's been built up only off of FBA work, only off of the stuff that we have done. And then after all of that, you guys get to come here because we work for you guys to come here. We all like, no, y'all not letting them over there. That's not cool. They are people. Let them come over here. And they get to come over here. And then they have the audacity to act like we owe them anything. We don't owe them nothing. In fact, y'all owe us something. If we're going to keep it real, we got 300 people in the chat room. Never been this big. Please make sure y'all hit that subscribe button. Okay? We don't owe them anything, yet they act like that. See, that's the difference between being B1 and being Pan-African, because we're not acting like, oh my God, we owe you anything. Pan-Africanists think that we owe them something. B1, we think we owe anything that we owe to the code. The code is what we owe. We owe to Black empowerment. Okay. Now, there's levels to it. Just because you're FBA does not mean you're on code. And just because you're non-FBA doesn't mean you're off code. The code is the leader. That's how we move. Okay. So if that's the case, why are Pan-Africanists so against being B1? Pan-Africanists should be the biggest ones preaching B1, because that's us putting our Blackness first in the world of global white supremacy. Because you're going to be treated Black first anyway. So it's best for you to acknowledge that and to promote the empowerment of your Blackness first, right? Why are Pan-Africanists upset about that? Pan-Africanists are upset about that because they want us to go back to the worshiping the religion of Pan-Africanism. And we're just not going to go for that. When they bring up the master teachers, okay, we have to understand that the movement we are in adapts, it evolves, it changes. Okay, this is how things improve. Things do not improve by doing the same thing over and over and over again. Cars. Do you know how simple the first car was? You know, before they had the cars, they had the wagon where they strapped it up to a horse or a couple of horses, and the horses were carrying wagons. You improve on things, you evolve things, you make things better. Okay, when the car in the early 1900s is not like the car today. 15 years ago, you didn't have cars with GPS attached to them. Let me get to some of the super chats because I'm forgetting. We had one up here I missed. I gotta scroll all the way up. Let me get to the $10 super chat from how do you pronounce your name? I think it's Gravity Acting Away TV. I'm no hater. I love all my people. I wish we could talk respectfully, Afro. And I'm not. This ain't no diss. I don't know if you're FBA or not, but this ain't no diss. This is not no diss. And thank you very, very much for the super chat. I appreciate that, brother. I appreciate that. We got another super chat from my brother Cyberdyne. He says, "That's how we move, B1," and that's exactly how we move. Thank you very much for the $10 super chat. Okay. That's the thing. Pan-African, and going back to what I was saying, Pan-Africanists are upset because they want us to go back to the fantasy of worshiping Africa. Back to what I was saying about evolution. It evolves, it grows. And we do that. We need to do that because white supremacy evolves and it grows. Our brother TBA talks about white supremacy is an organism that evolves and grows. I want you guys to think, like really, really think. Let's get deep. Back in the 1940s, back 100 years ago, okay, in 100 years, it was 1923. White people could just walk around. They could say anything to black people. They can say, I don't like niggers. I think they all should die. And nothing would happen to them. They wouldn't face no type of consequences, okay? The death of Emmett Till happened over like 30 years after that, okay? Nothing, they faced no sort of consequences, and most of them was on that page. I don't want my kids even talking to a nigger, and that was the norm. But then after the civil rights movement, they had to evolve. They had to evolve, so that's why they're saying, I don't they're saying, oh, I like black people, I just don't like the thugs, I just don't like the thugs, you know what I'm saying? That's the word for black. That's them evolving. They can't say I don't like niggers. They can't say that. They say, oh, I just don't like thugs. And they'll say all black people are thugs. That's the context of the word thug. That's them evolving. You know what I'm saying? They can't say, oh, we just don't hire black people. They can't say that. They'll say, oh, well, sir, we'll look at your application. And then they'll say, I'm sorry, sir. We're just a little, we're sorry. Maybe next time. It's not no reason, we love you. That's them evolving. They evolve by not saying anything is racist. They evolve by pretending that we're in this racially free society. That's why they evolve. Okay, shout out to Extreme X for the $10 super chat. He says, stay elite. We all stay in elite, brother. Thank you very much for the $10 super chat. Okay. So we evolve. Okay. We all evolve. Black empowerment must evolve too. Our master teachers, our leaders, or not leaders, our activists, the people who have spearheaded this movement of black empowerment stemming 100 years ago, we take those people, we listen to those people, we learn from those people, we adapt from those people, but we evolve. Okay, we are in a race, and the runner who has I forget the term of the race. You run with the baton, you pass the baton on, they carry the baton, and they move forward as the move, and they adapt to what is needed at the time. Okay, shout out to Q2Ys for the second $4.99 super sticker. Thank you very much, my sister. I appreciate you very, very much. Thank you for the super sticker. So let's really get deep, because I know we got some Pan-Africanists in the room. Let's really get deep, okay? A marathon. Thank you. Marathon runners. When Malcolm was talking about Pan-Africanism, okay, when you had our ancestors from the past talk about Pan-Africanism, we have to understand they were talking about black empowerment at the time that they were living in, okay? Malcolm didn't have to deal with a tether problem. We have to deal with a tether problem, because during the times of Malcolm, they weren't allowing a large amount of black immigrants to come here anyway. So the black immigrants that were coming over here, they were the Kwame Torres, and they were the Dr. Benz, and they were on code. So Malcolm didn't have to deal with the tether problem, so he didn't speak like that. Malcolm would speak in terms of Pan-Africanism, because that was what was needed at the time. Okay, now we are dealing with a tether problem that didn't exist in the civil rights movement. So when they talk about Malcolm or Martin or you know, the Black Panthers or anybody from that talking about Pan-Africanism, we have to understand that there are problems that exist today in our society, in our movement today, that didn't exist at their time. They are thinking that, okay, hey, we all black, so if we on this page in America, of course they're going to be on that page in the continent. They didn't know that. They didn't have to deal with that problem. We do. So that's why we have to adapt. That's why we have to categorize the immigrants who are on code and the immigrants who are off code. They didn't have to do that. That's what we talk about when it comes to evolution and evolving. Okay, we're not dissing them. We're still black first. We're still black first. And shout out to Bishop for the $20 to $10 super sticker. Okay, shout out to him for the super sticker. Much appreciated, brother. Much appreciated. As black people, we evolve. That doesn't mean that we diss them. I would never diss Malcolm. I would never diss Martin. I would never Malcolm X, Martin Luther King Jr. I say their full names in show of respect. I would never diss them. Okay, what Marcus Garvey was talking about when it comes to Pan-Africanism, was at Marcus Garvey's time. Okay, we are in a different time. Black empowerment, like I said, has to adapt. And to be honest, even during Marcus Garvey's time, he couldn't even successfully get Pan-Africanism to be adopted culturally by Jamaica. It was only when he reached America was Pan-Africanism adapted culturally here. And Pan-Africanism didn't start by Marcus Garvey. He's not the originator of it. He's one of the biggest people who spearheaded it, if we're historically honest. He really did do a lot to spearhead the movement of Pan-Africanism, but it was only accepted culturally speaking in America by us. And we've been the ones who've been waving that flag, carrying that baton. Now, the second we put the baton down and we say we're going to carry the FBA flag now, the second we put the baton down and we say we're not going to speak on Pan-Africanism, we're just going to adapt and we're going to become black first. If the black first mentality and idea, because it's an ideology, okay, it's an ideology, it's a mind frame. If that existed, I promise you guys, if B1 existed during the time of Malcolm X, during the time of Martin Luther King, they would have been B1. They would have been B1. Malcolm was speaking B1. It's just the polishing of the term of black first didn't exist during the time of Malcolm. But if you guys look at his clips, that's all he was talking about. He was talking like he was a B1 in the civil rights movement. It's just it was a little bit of the polishing needed to be done. Now we finished the polishing, so we're B1. But I promise you, he would have adapted the same type of mentality if he was alive today. Okay, Marcus Garvey would have adapted the same mentality. Okay, Booker T. Washington, all of these people would have adapted that mentality. You can really not name one person who we look up to. Martin Luther King, you can't name one single person. Kwame Ture, Dr. Ben, you can name one person who, if they were alive today, Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, you can't literally name one single individual who, if they were alive today and they knew about B1, they would say, nah, I'm not with that. You can't name one of them. The only reason that they didn't say that is because that ideology wasn't around at that specific time that they were. Okay, shout out to Julian for the $10 super chat. He says been a supporter since day one. He has. Julian's been in the chats for a long time. I appreciate Julian is a writer. I appreciate you, Julian. Been in the supporter from day one. Keep speaking truth to power. Salute FBA fam. Salute to you, Julian, and thank you very much for the $10 super chat. Salute to our brother Julian. Okay, then we got another one from Gravity Adding Away TV. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. My computer's a little far, so it's difficult for me to read. For the $5 super chat, he says, "Bro, I would love to have a discussion about how black immigrants are the focus versus the many problems we have." Okay, and we can have we're not going to have that tonight, but we can have a conversation about that. We can have a conversation about that. I got my information, my Twitter, my email, all that stuff in the description. So if we can have a respectful conversation so we can move forward as the B1 community, then okay, I'm cool with that. I don't have a problem talking about that. Okay. Actually, to your point though, I would say initially I do disagree. The thing is, when it comes to movements, we need to understand things happen in steps. Things happen in layers, right? When you go back to the Haitian movement, the Haitian Revolution, the Haitians' biggest problem was their oppressors. The Haitians' biggest problem was the French. They knew that. But in order to get to the biggest problem, in order to defeat the mastermind, the puppet master, they have to get to the collaborators first. And shout out to Tariq again for 1804. He understood this. You have to get to the collaborators first. You have to get to the people within your ranks that are undermining you. You have to get your traitors out the mix first. So it's important for us to talk about the people who are black, that are within the community, that are undermining the community. That's what we need to get. We need to get them out the paint first, primarily. Then after that, then we can get to the other issues. We're not ignoring, and that's kind of like a gas. I'm not saying you're doing it, but that's a gaslighting thing that we get told all the time. Oh, all you guys are doing is focusing on black immigrants. All you're doing is focusing on black immigrants. Oh, no, that's not all. That's not all I'm doing. That's not all Tariq is doing. That's not all. I see a lot of FBAs who are not all. That's all they're doing. You know, when we do bring them up, and we bring them up, we have to often, because they're black people among the black community. So we have to make sure that we not what's the term I'm thinking. Come on, think. We have to ostracize their bad behavior from the rest of the community. So we're focused on that. That's the step that we need to take in order to move on to the next step. Because we've been talking about the anti-black Hispanics, and we still are. We've been talking about the anti-black Asians, and we still are. We've been talking about racist white folks, and we still are. So there's nothing that we've stopped doing. We're just adding that step because that step is very important. Okay. So for a lot of people, all y'all talk about is that. No, that's not all we talk about. That's not all we talk about at all. Okay. Now, I'm witnessing our evolution on a daily basis. Shout out to Cyber9 for the $9.99 super chat. He says, I'm witnessing our evolution on a daily basis. My B1 is on 100. Hey, absolutely. Salute to you, Cyber9, great supporter, and salute to the message. B1 is the message, right? Yeah, we got a lot of people in here. We are packed. We are absolutely packed. Okay. So, and if we're going to be honest, let's be honest. Let's tell the full truth, right? Pan-Africanist, y'all don't really talk about nothing except hating on us. You can search my channel. I'll talk about a lot of different things. Most of the B1 channels that you see on YouTube, it's not like immigrant, tether. We talk about that, but we talk about a lot of other stuff too. When you go to a lot of the Pan-Africanist pages, let's be honest, if we're going to have this conversation, let's be real about it. When you go to the Pan-Africanist pages, all they talk about is, man, FBA is this, FBA is that, Tariq is this, Tariq is that, Tariq, FBA. That's all y'all talk about. We ain't over here doing that. In our Twitter spaces, we'll talk about such stuff going on with the Democrats, the Republicans, stuff going on in society. We talk about all of that stuff. The second we talk about tethers, y'all, oh my God, you always talk about us. I can't believe it. Just leave us alone. That's all. That every time we do that. But yeah, y'all always talking about us. Always. And for the people who are up here saying, oh, can we all get along? Can't we all get along? I'm cool with that. But I'm not going to be the first one at the table. I'm not going to be the first one trying to sign the waiver that we should all get along. The peace waiver. I'm not going to be that way. And why? Because you guys don't go to the Pan-Africanists. Y'all don't go to the ones calling us Akadas. Y'all don't go to the one calling us Jareers. Y'all don't go to the ones saying that we don't have a culture. Y'all don't go to the ones saying that we don't know where we come from, that we were slaves. Y'all don't go to them and say, can't we all get along? Y'all don't go to the ones saying that FBA is a hate group and say, can't we all get along? Y'all don't go to them and say nothing, but y'all come to us and say, can't we all get along? Guys, come on, we're all from Africa. Y'all go to us to say it. So no. I don't mind coming to the table. I don't even mind signing a waiver, but y'all better make sure every single last one of them sign it. We not gonna be the first ones to sign it. We've been carrying them the whole time anyway. To be honest, it's no guarantee that we're gonna sign the shit anyway. We gonna sign it, but we need to see that y'all on that page. That's what we need to see. Y'all better be on that page first before we see anything. Before we even think about it. To be honest, y'all coming over here talking about can we all get along? We all black. Yeah, cool. We black first. We the only ones really promoting that. If we're gonna be real. Because Pan-Africanists aren't promoting that. Pan-Africanists aren't saying be B1. They're saying worship Africa. That's what Pan-Africanists are saying. So when you come to us, and no disrespect to you, but I'm just saying, when you come to us and say, can't we all get along? Why are y'all always talking about us? Can't y'all talk about something else? Well, God damn it, can't you tell them to say something about something else? Because channels, all based off of, man, Tariq, FBA. Nobody says nothing. But then the second we say, man, these tethers are doing something, y'all be willing to pull your hair out your head? Oh, no, not at all. No. Let me get to the super chat, okay? From I'm just say E3 for the $5 super chat says, all pennies due to whine about Tariq, one man, instead of actually building Pan-Africanism in the diaspora, shows what a scam it is. Good point. Because let's just be honest, Pan-Africanism does not exist in Africa, and nobody can make the argument that it does. There's so many tribal beefs and fights, and oh my God, it does not exist in Africa. It doesn't. It does not exist in the Caribbean. It don't. And that's fine that it don't exist there, but it's a problem that it don't exist here. What the hell? No. And y'all not gonna make us try to bring it back when y'all never tried to uplift it in the first place. It's not working that way at all. No. I'm just telling you, no. I had a conversation, but I want you to have that conversation with them first. Because I'm not going to have that conversation where we as FBA have to be the peacemakers like we've always had to be, and they get to go back to talking shit about us like they always have. No, we're done with that. Like I'm saying, the abuse from the diaspora is over. The abuse from the diaspora came from a fact that when we believed that we needed to all go back to Africa and worship the continent and the soil, that's when we believed that then. We don't believe that anymore. Like I said, the movement has evolved from that. We've evolved from Pan-Africanism now. We're not with that anymore. So we're not going to take the abuse of, oh, I'm sorry, please forgive us. No, we're done. That's over. It's over. Okay? Young Fetty says, Young Fetty 901 said, thank you for the $4.99 super chat. Okay, much appreciated. He says, brother, anytime RGB, that's red, black, green, supports anything black and strong, I'm FBA. But like Professor Smalls, I don't give up on the continent for anybody. But we'll check a coon, and that's good. I'm not giving up on a continent, and thank you for the super chat. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Listen, family. I'm black first. I've always, I'm saying not all. I've always been that way, even though I didn't know that I was that way. I'm gonna say that. Ever since this channel, I've always been that way. I've always said that. I say that every single video, every single broadcast. I say black first. I wear it around my neck for God's sake. Okay, I have love for the continent. I have love for my brothers and sisters. Like I've said before, we are all one big melanated tree. We're just of different branches. I have love for the Caribbean. We're just of different branches. That's fine. My thing is that we need to do a lot of straightening that for the longest time, for generations really, has not been being done. It's not been being done. While y'all coming over here talking to us about FBA, y'all not going to Africa and talking about Pan-Africanism. Y'all wouldn't dare do that. Okay? We have to do things in categories, okay? Like, you know how you have a computer and you can put a folder in a folder, okay? We're all in the black first folder, and then we're in the FBA folder. The FBA folder is in the black first folder. So I would never see a non-black person abusing a black person and be like, I don't care. I would never say that, okay? Unless they're a coon, I probably wouldn't care. I wouldn't like it, I would care a little bit. But I would never say that, okay? I am FBA. That's my blood. That's my lineage. That's my heritage, okay? So I'm going to do my FBA business. I'm going to prioritize that. Just the same way a Haitian in Haiti would prioritize Haitians. That's fine. The same way a Nigerian in Nigeria would prioritize Nigerians. I'm FBA in America. I'm going to prioritize FBA. I'm still going to put my blackness first. That's what B1 means. Putting your blackness first. I'm going to put that first because I know white people. And here's why I don't remix B1. This is the importance of saying I don't remix B1, because white people view themselves as W1. They're white first. Okay. They don't do, despite what they don't say I'm American first. They don't think that way internally, truly. They don't say I'm British first. They don't think that. They might tell you that, but they don't think that way. They don't say I'm Italian first. I'm Irish. They don't think that way. That they put their ethnicity second place. They put their race first place. Okay. Asians, they don't put being Chinese before being Asian. They don't put being Japanese before being Asian. Okay. They put them being Asian before they put them being Japanese, Chinese, Korean, whatever. They understand the world. This is a race war. Okay. This is not an ethnicity war. This is a race war. Everybody is putting their race first. That's the thing that they're trying to empower before everything else. When you understand the system of white supremacy, you understand that. That's why it's important for us to put our race first, okay? So we can adapt accordingly. Now, putting your race first, we're in America, so you would kind of have to put your ethnicity first. If you're in the country, you would have to, right? So we understand, and we have to promote that internally. We have to promote the culture because we're in America. It wouldn't make sense for me to say I'm Haitian first. I'm not Haitian, but it wouldn't make sense for me to say I'm Haitian first and I'm in America. That don't even make sense. So of course you would put your nationality first, but that we don't put our nationality before our blackness. The same way white folks don't put their nationality before their whiteness. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to y'all blessing me with the super chat today. I appreciate that. Drake says, I'm looking at that word like, what the hell does that mean? Okay. Our brother Drake Miller, thank you for the $4.99 super chat. He says, Condoleezza Rice, interview Europe, said we should call ourselves foundational Black Americans. Wasn't for us, would be no America. That's true. It wouldn't be no. It wouldn't. And that's a historical fact. You guys can go to the video I did. Did slavery build America? Yes, it did. Yes, it did. Okay. So we understand that. When you understand white supremacy, when you understand what the code is, that's what B1 is. That's what B1 is. B1 is recognizing what the code is. That's it. And recognizing what the code is and adapting accordingly, acting accordingly. That's what it is. That's what it means to recognize what it is and to act accordingly. That's what that is. That's why B1, based on the small amount of time that B1 has been a term, been around, has made so much more progress, so much more improvement in the movement than Pan-Africanists. Pan-Africanists are not out here moving no type of weight, really. For the most part, maybe a few, really, but for the most part, thank you. Shout out to the ones hitting the super, Cash App. Shout out to the ones, and shout out to our brother Sage in the building. Y'all go check his music out. Y'all go check his Instagram. He's about to drop a new album. He's about to drop another #1 album. Okay, I saw it. Shout out to our brother. Okay. I want to shout out to, hold on, let me put a super, I keep saying super chat. Shout out to our brother Muko. Shout out to Nubian DNA. Shout out to Doris Davis. I appreciate and love every single last one of you guys. Okay. So we're adapting. Okay. The movement is adapting. Okay. We have ties to the big melanated black tree. We do. That's just the truth. We do. We're just of a different branch. This, and y'all know that. Y'all gaslighting and being and acting like children, acting like y'all don't understand what we're doing. We just on the same page y'all been on. Y'all been on this page. Y'all still on this page. We just literally on the same page y'all on, and y'all acting like it's a problem. So whatever. We're just going to continue to be on code, continue to do what we're supposed to be doing, and the movement will progress. The movement, no movement, especially the black movement, has never progressed based off of what the majority thinks. It's always progressed based off of the people who are willing to push the needle, the people who are truly believers in this. That's where the movement progressed. We, the B1 community, we are believers in all of this. Okay? We are believers in all of this. Been on here. We still got a lot of people in the chat room. A lot of people. Thank you. Blessings to every single last one of you guys, and happy Black History Month to you guys. You guys can follow me on my, let me pull it up. It's in the description anyway, but I like to pull it up. Follow me on my social media, which is at Afro Elite on Instagram and at the Afro Elite on Twitter. You guys follow me on my social media, and the links in the description, so y'all don't have to worry about none of that. Links in the description to sum all of this up. With the statement that Professor James Smalls, I feel like he shouldn't have made that. I respect him still. I'm gonna still follow him. I you know what I'm saying. I just felt like he shouldn't have said that, and just be honest. And I feel like he was incorrect, and I can say that. You know. I respect him, don't worship him. I can say that. I felt like he was incorrect. And I feel as if what really happened was that dude, he probably played a lot of clips out of context prior to recording. He probably played a lot of clips out of context prior to recording. And then it kind of misinformed Professor James Smalls, being like, oh wow, if that's what he's on, and I don't rock with that. If seeing clips kind of out of context, because Tariq clowns a lot of folks, but if you don't see what they say to him first and you just see what he says, it'll make it, you can mold it and make it seem like Tariq is just picking on somebody. So I'm sure that that's what he did. And he made it seem like Tariq is this big bad guy. And then he's going to turn the camera on and be like, well, Professor James Smalls, what do you think? And he was going to be all, Professor James Small. I say small. What do you think? Oh, I think Tariq is tripping. Oh, there you have it, guys. Tariq, you know what I'm saying? I think it was that kind of manipulation. That's why I say he tries to use him. It was that kind of manipulation. That's what I believe. So that's just confusion. That's just what it is. It's just a misunderstanding. Okay, shout out to the $10 super chat. Okay, saying FBA all day, FBA all day, FBA all day. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Appreciate big game, Oriental James. I appreciate that, James. Appreciate that. Okay. Now, thank you again for the $5 super chat. He says, I can't express myself properly with these moderators, brother. Shake my head. Go check your email. I sent you a message. Let's build and okay. All right. I'm gonna check my email. All right. That's cool. There's a lot of people in the chat room. I haven't been really seeing the chat. You know what I'm saying? My moderators don't really tend to trip on people though. I'm very selective with my moderators. So if my moderator is saying something, it's probably because they feel like you're trolling. But Erica, thank you for the $10 super sticker. I appreciate that. I appreciate that very much. Much blessings to you. And with that being said, my brothers and my sisters, B1, salute to every single last one of you guys. To the FBA family who's on code, to the non-FBA family who's on code. B1 salute to you guys. Okay, we're we're clearing up confusion. We're getting on code. We're promoting our lineage like everybody should. We're promoting our lineage. We're keeping the same energy. The Pan-Africanists are mad, and they're staying mad because we're not going anywhere. We're not going anywhere. If Pan-Africanism was a superior ideology, we would be over there. B1 wouldn't be a thing, but we're B1 because B1, and we're eclipsing them because B1 is the superior ideology. Okay. With that being said, my brothers and sisters, please do not forget to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any future content. Watch some of the other content. Happy Black History Month. I will see you guys later.